Hi, hello, and welcome to the Zodiac Academy, Ruthless Boys Edition, Warrior Fae. The end. Woo!
We did it.
We did it.
it.
The final portion of Ruthless Boys. Here we freaking go.
One down.
One series down.
Uh-huh.
Got it. I was like,
Wow. Shh. Let me have it.
I'm so excited. We finished.
This is 8 books in.
Yep. And we finished one series.
Yeah.
Woo!
Ka-chow.
We did it.
Ka-chow. Okay, fam, we're going to get right to it. So this is chapters 41 through the end of the book. I think it was like chapter 64 or something like that.
Yeah.
But like the last couple of chapters, we'll talk about that when we get there.
Okay.
All right. So we are hopping right back in. We are picking up with Ryder sacrificing himself for essentially the family, if you will. So he is going to sacrifice himself to Scarlet to end his reign as the Lunar King. And all the while, so that's how 40 ends, right? We see him like make this decision that that's what he's going to do.
Correct.
So we pick up with Elise.
While Gabriel is watching it all go down.
Well, Gabriel is like, he knows, right, that this is the only, he's seen Ryder dying, that was him having a vision. So we pick up in 41, Elise is with Dante because Elise is not doing well after the King/Titan reveal. And Dante's like, my girl, I'm going to take you out on a little joyride, hop on Pop, let's go. And Leo comes bounding up while they are in flight and is like shouting to the sky is how I imagine Leo's like, hello.
Oh, right. Because remember, he was going to prank.
Correct.
He was going to pull a prank. He was hiding in the
her
closet.
Boy Ryder and
dosed himself with something like a paralytic to make him look dead.
Correct. And he was like shoved in Ryder's locker because Ryder was going to. Right. So he's like, oh. All right, so I said because she's been super depresso about the King revelation. Leo bounds up and interrupts the flight because he overhears Ryder and Gabriel talking in the locker room while he has dosed himself with a paralytic in an effort to be prank king. LOL. I said naturally. The three of them book it over to where Ryder and Gabe are being held and being beaten about on stage in front of all of the Lunar brothers.
I know that what takes place in the next like 10 chapters is so crazy. But I have to tell you, this was so anticlimactic. I was just like, all of this.
Right. Yeah. It didn't feel as emotional, I think, as it should have.
No,
felt.
and I don't know why, but go on. We can keep going. This is
the
where
build up to the big baddie was like, it was
I think
anticipated that once we got to it, because it's been, I don't know, 3,000 plus pages.
I think I'm still a little let down from the Titan reveal.
I thought we were going to have the big battle then.
Right. And then he
escapes and
he
then
gets away.
Then we go back to school.
I also don't, and maybe we can talk about this when we get closer to it. I'll hold my thoughts.
Okay.
I'll hold my thoughts. Go on.
All right. So a fight ensues naturally. And Dante comes in and, he's big bad Drago boy.
Sure.
And he gets speared in the wing, which owie. And that sends him careening into a building, which we will come back to later.
Yep.
Because that happens to be right where Gabriel and Ryder are. Dante then leads the flying band of brothers, as I've determined, or started calling them, all of the brothers who are of the flying orders. He leads them on a chase through this bridge. They get got. We kill a lot of people instantly. He makes it back only to see Scarlet dragging Ryder out of the rubble half conscious. So this is not looking good for our boy Ryder.
Yeah.
I said, this is where things take a turn because Scarlet has Ryder strung up and is going to make his execution public in front of all of the other brothers. Scarlet then proceeds to cut Ryder's tongue out.
Crazy.
So he can no longer say anything.
Crazy work.
I said he can't scream or communicate, which we will also touch on later. Elise then gets dosed with order suppressant, so she can't cause any more problems for Scarlet and can be easily killed. Then Scarlet beheads Ryder, and I'm like, is this okay? Sure. Ooh, I don't know where we're going at this point because that just seems very abrupt, but all right. I said, meanwhile, Leo's looking for Gabriel in the rubble. He finds him, kisses him.
Gives him mouth to mouth, I think, is what he's trying to pass it off as.
Sure, the kiss of life.
The kiss of life, as he calls it.
I said, and Gabriel is Zazu.
Incredible.
Incredible.
This is not the first reference he's been to Zazu, but he is solidified now as Zazu. And
Right.
Again, I'll hold my thoughts for the Disney of it all because
there's more later.
There's more to come.
Yep. So Scarlet has now made eyes with Elise across the fight, and Scarlet claims Elise for her own. She's like, listen, you can dose
She's
her,
mine.
but that bitch is mine. I said, dun 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 dun. Ethan Shadowbrook rolls up with his pack in tow.
I would like to say that we fucking called this about Ethan being a bad baddie. And he does his big one.
He fulfills our need here.
But can I tell you who and what doesn't fulfill our needs? Because now is as good a time as any to talk about this.
Eugene.
We never hear of Eugene again.
Yeah. Well, we hear about him. He's referenced, but he is not part of the fight.
No, but like barely.
Right.
What do you mean? What do you mean? After all of this, nothing?
Nothing. I just like wonder, I don't know. I would have liked to have seen more of Eugene and less of some of the other things that we got at the end.
Or at least, why didn't Eugene get a shout out at the end, in the end scene?
Well, that's what I mean. Like in the postscript, if you will,
sure,
I would have liked to have seen like some follow up with some of the other characters that we've met along the way.
Sure.
Because for those of you who have finished this book with us, it's like 3 months later, 7 months later, 9 months later, 10 years later. I'm like, I don't need that much later. I didn't need it.
I have suspicions about some of that.
Of course. We're laying the groundwork for something else, right?
Right.
Of course.
Right.
And I know that Echo Fort and Cindervale, like that whole series takes place like in the Zodiac world as well.
Correct.
So like I have a feeling that some of these characters will be seen in those.
My guess is they're kids.
Right. It's like,
yeah.
All right. So Scarlet tries to make a run for it.
Right.
It doesn't go well. Lise isn't having any of that, and she says, order suppressant be damned, I can still run my ass off because I'm fueled by rage. So she and Ethan take off down, I'm imagining the streets of Alestria. That's kind of, they're running these mean streets, and they end up cornering Scarlet in a dead end. Elise gets some wicked blows in there.
Big blows.
Before it is revealed to him, or to her, that Scarlet is in fact Ryder. Ryder has been using his big chameleon powers to disguise himself as Scarlet. So the Ryder that was beheaded mere moments ago was really Scarlet. And apparently his chameleon magic is not detectable to any Fae. He alone controls it. He can turn it on and turn it off. He's the only one to do so. The only thing that they have to be mindful of is they talk about having to get rid of the body because a DNA test. Took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% Scarlet.
Not her.
Yeah. So they need to make sure that they burn the bodies.
Right.
Sorry, where was I?
Okay, so this is twice now that they've done this to us. The head fake of one of the boys is dead. Psych, they're not.
Yep.
And I was a little disappointed. I feel like in post Game of Thrones world, we need a main to die to feel that the stakes are really high. Because essentially, we lost nothing. We lost nothing.
Yeah.
We lost nothing. We lost no one. Everybody's fine.
Well, I guess at this point in the story, the only thing that is still hanging out there open is Gabe. Well, yeah, we still have to kill King, but like we sort of know that that's coming, right? Sure. But we also don't know what's going to happen with Gabriel.
Right.
That's where
at this current juncture. Yeah. But we still, my point still is we lost nobody.
When we get to the end, I'm going to ask you a question about this and see what your thoughts would be. All right. So we find out from Gabriel, because now we've got to figure out, like, how did they do this? How did they come up with this plan? Because going into this chapter or these chapters, Gabriel is convinced that Ryder is going to die. He's seen it, right? So we find out from Gabriel that he shouted hypnosis at Ryder right as the building was getting ready to come down, to crumble.
Because we also find out hypnosis basically stops time.
Correct. Time does not exist in the hypnotic state.
Yeah.
In his red room of pain. It doesn't exist. So they hatch a plan while inside the hypnosis that he is going to use his chameleon powers, and this is how it's all going to go down. So Ryder had to cut. This is why Ryder had to cut Scarlet's
tongue
out, because Scarlet would have been able to still, like, she was still of her own mind at that point. Right. So she would have been able to try and communicate with people, and he couldn't risk that, obviously.
Hey, why did he give Elise the order suppressant?
Ryder didn't give it to her? Did he?
Yeah, they come out of the rubble, and he is Scarlet.
I think because he had to sell it to the rest of them. And because they were like, let us, kill her. And he didn't want to kill her.
Okay. I couldn't stop thinking about that. I was like,
I think it was just to buy time, essentially. We also find out Scarlet's reason for this vendetta was because of her brother. We knew that she had a familial tie.
Yep.
And Dante reveals, well, yeah, my dad and the pack took care of her because her brother was kidnapping pups, young wolves, and sending them back in pieces, basically, to their families. And that is fucked up.
Yeah.
So she was never going to accept the deal. She would never have. We find out that she never really accepted Ryder's reign either, that she was likely plotting this from the beginning.
It's a long time.
From when he was taken by Mariella, that she was plotting. All right, so now we have to deal with the big baddie, right? Titan is still out here and hanging around. Mm-hmm. And Gabriel gets a vision that the big battle is happening tonight. He is taken over the streets of Alestria.
Yep.
He is challenging the counselors, and now is our time.
Which at this time, the counselors have yet to take this seriously.
Right.
There's no problem. They're bebopping around. They've got no care in the world. That they're like, this is so small potatoes. But the high counselors are just not taking this seriously at all. They're just like, oh, it's fine. We'll figure it out. No problems here, which is crazy, because if this problem is as big as it is led us to believe, and apparently jumping a bit here, but when King is inevitably dead, and the fucking counselors take credit for it, right, the whole city is like cheering, like, yay, the king is dead, as if they know who that is. I'm so confused by all of this.
I am confused. Yes, we will get to that, because I was under the impression that
nobody knew who.
Not necessarily even who, right, that King existed, that there was a force in the city that was malevolent.
Right. So if that is that big of a problem, why weren't the counselors more concerned about this?
I guess the argument perhaps devil's advocate here.
Sure.
Is we are supposed to believe that the nymphs have become a problem in Solaria.
Yes, the nymphs are a problem, but are they that big of a problem yet? I mean, remember, we're still 5 years in the future. Well, I guess at the end of this point now, it's only 4 years prior to Zodiac.
I think that the nymphs have likely been a problem before we experience them in Zodiac Academy. I think that has been a growing problem,
Sure.
and we know that Killblaze has like made it to that realm. Yeah, isn't that what they're?
I don't think so.
I thought, isn't that where? Don't we have an instance of that at school, or am
At Zodiac?
Yeah, am I getting it confused?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so, but either way, the
there was some
counselors
kind
just
of
like
drug they
don't
were
take.
using.
Yeah, but it's not. They're calling it something else.
I just assumed it was the same thing, but different.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Because
Okay.
it's not talking. They're not talking about it being like a rampant issue that's like killing fays and stuff. I don't think so.
Okay. I thought that the implication was it was like an evolution of Killblaze.
Maybe.
Anyways, it doesn't matter. I think that we're supposed to believe that A, they don't care about Alestria because they don't.
Clearly.
And B, that like they're out here dealing with their own issues. And we know Lionel Afux is like doing whatever he wants with this sacrificial children thing.
Right.
So-
And getting to the well, you're right, because I guess they know about the nymphs because they're opening up portal to the other realm, which is where Clara Orion
The Dark
went.
Realm, yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think that the implication is that they're like tied up doing other things.
I mean,
and they don't really care.
Okay. Well, that I can believe.
Yeah. I get the sense that unless it's Lionel who gives a shit, nothing gets done.
Sure.
Right? Because
Yep.
he's almighty powerful.
Sure.
So King has taken over the streets of Alestria.
Yep.
We know that the big battle is going to happen tonight.
Yeah.
They decide to mount an air attack on the Black Card because they have formed some sort of protective bubble around King in the streets.
Sure.
So
Makes
Dante drops Elise down to Stardust him away. Stardust?
Yep.
Blue powder?
Pixie dust.
Pixie dust. And they whisk King away to a Fae trap, which Fae traps I think everybody knows about. Did you know about Fae traps before this? Oh, I guess witchy. It's like where you have
It's like a ring of salt
Yes.
or something.
Correct.
But
And in this scenario, it's like painted with all of the zodiac signs.
Sure,
So
sure.
all of the boys and Orion, everybody stands on their zodiac sign and they like trap our guy, King, in the middle. And they start the spell to rip the magic that
Out
he
of
has
him.
assumed.
I cannot believe how big of a role Lance Orion plays in this story.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how big Gabriel is on the flip side.
Me too.
Because, like you said, Lance, we needed Lance so desperately here. I mean, he's the only one who's been able to like crack the code on the M&M.
Right.
We need his power. He's draining dagger, just like all the things.
Right.
This is where we get a Eugene mention, is in this series. I said, poor Eugene's name gets thrown in the mix here when Titan is trying to plead his case to Elise. Yeah.
Convince Elise.
He's trying to say, I'm not all bad, right? Like, if all I cared about was power, why would I hook you up with Eugene? Look at what you've done for Eugene. We've made him stronger. He can stand on his own 2 feet, etc.
Such a cop-out.
Okay, fine. Titan tries to convince Elise that even Marlowe, her father, wanted this and agreed to it. And she was like, yeah. But then he wanted out because he saw what was going on.
Yeah.
And you had to figure out a way to silence him because you couldn't have his sister find out and the counselors find out. She's not wrong. I said Elise plays the trump card with finally revealing that her brother is Gareth Tempa to Titan / king, and he quickly realizes, oh, there's no convincing her because I did kill her brother.
I did, in fact, kill her brother.
So Elise says, enough with this spell. It's taking too long. I'm just going to drain him dry. That is going to be the fastest way for me to take the magic and to him, which she does. And now she has absorbed all of his power. And when they mentioned earlier that power corrupts.
Absolutely.
And boy, does she lose her damn mind. So she goes on what I'm calling a death power trip, in which she has assumed so much power from all of these Fae that they are essentially contacting her from the other side of the veil and telling her to avenge their deaths.
Correct.
At which she does several. Her kill count is pretty high at this point.
I'm not really mad about it. Because some of the people that she takes out
deserve to be taken. Well, I think that's like the morality argument, right? Like, oh, but you're a vigilante.
Right.
That's
right.
how I justify vigilante bikers. Well.
Here we are.
So we have to remember Gabriel has a vision, or the stars tell him that she must drink from him.
Gareth tells her that.
Him that. Gareth tells him that
you have to let her bite you.
Correct. So just like keep that in the back of your mind, because wow. She is going to have to drink, and boy does she. And once she pops, she just can't stop. And it looks dark for Gabriel. Even Gabriel thinks,
it's like, well, this is how I go.
If this is how I go, I loved you so much. Like, this is like a soliloquy about how much he loves her. And at this point, you're like, is Gabriel going to die? Because now we've had the Rider fake out. Right. Are we getting it? What's happening?
I just kept in my mind, we know he goes to Zodiac. So to me, Gabriel dying was never even remotely on the table.
Sure. The only thought I had was, well, could Rider keep up Gabriel's persona and that be his new life? Like, that's the only that was the only stretch I could make there.
Got it.
I said, well, Elise is draining Gabriel, and she's like bleeding from her cuts, etc. She's drinking from him. She has the white jasper, the special crystal in her hand, and
that holds all of Gareth's memories.
Correct. Yeah. As previously predicted, her blood is his blood. It activates the crystal, and we finally find out what happens just to Gareth.
The info dump here is so crazy. Like, we could talk about this for 2 hours, but like the mechanism in which that we got this info dump, I'm kind of mad. I'm kind of mad that we just like, oh, and here's everything you know. And I'm like, well,
I kind of thought that Titan might be the one who told us what happened to Gareth.
Me too.
I'm a little bit upset.
He confirms that he did, in fact, kill Gareth right before he himself gets got. And then that's it. And then she's kind of left to figure out the rest on her own. And turns out she had the answer the whole time.
Right.
Tale as old as time.
So we do find out that Gareth did get got by King. King finds out that Gareth lied about stealing from him. And we saw like the first part of this scene in another flashback memory in which Gareth, like, it leaves off with Gareth and King in the hallway, and King is asking him, Gareth, what are you doing here?
In the last book.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Oh shit, you're right. That was the last book.
Yeah, because this is the first,
the first like Gareth POV.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
second, I think. I think we got some a little bit in the last chunk of chapters,
and I guess we've
we
gotten some of the flashbacks,
right? But
memories.
We went this whole book. There were no Gareth POV chapters. This whole book.
That's crazy. So we then find out that Gareth was essentially tortured by King, because he was trying to find out the location of the M&M. And Gareth, in his final act of love for his sister.
And if you've forgotten, the M&M is the Magicae Moritium book.
Sure.
whatever it's called, the magic book.
The black magic
The black
spell.
magic book.
I've been calling it the Book of Shadows.
Okay. Is that
Charmed.
Got it.
Book of
Right,
Shadows.
Sure. I was like, why do I know what that is?
So in his final act, he does refuse to tell him where the M&M is because he hid it and because he doesn't want Elise to have to experience King's rule, which is very sweet. He gets dosed with Killblaze, and even as he was dying, he refused to give his power to King. He clutched that white jasper so hard that it burned him. So he kept enough of his wits about him. And poor Mars, Professor Mars, is the one who tries to save him.
Yeah.
And he looks at the stars because he doesn't want the last thing that he sees to be Titan. It's very sweet.
It's yeah. That was tough. That was.
I
tough to
wanted
read.
Gareth to be okay.
I was holding out hope that he was alive, but I'm telling you, the minute that they found the guy in the cafe, wearing his face, I was like, oh no, he's.
Yeah, I was just
gone.
hoping it would have been nice, but
Yeah.
nice things still happen.
No.
So while Gabe is having his moment with death, it finally happens. Finally. So the fates tell him 4 years from now, the dice of face will be rolled once more. Then beware of the Lord of Shadow and seek the twin flames. So that is the what the fates tell him while he is dying, I guess.
It kind of, and this is your Hogwarts alert for this episode, is if you are Harry Potter watchers, in the movie and in the books too, Harry dies. And he's sort of in this limbo world. It's in between world. And he has this very interesting conversation with Dumbledore. Mm-hmm. They're on a train station. And basically are you going to go back, or are you done here? And that's basically what happens to Gabriel.
Sure.
Right. And we think we see his mom, maybe the one that's yelling at him.
Right.
He talks to Gabriel. He's got somebody else yelling at him from the other side, telling him to go back. So yeah, he has
Gareth.
a choice.
He was talking to Gareth.
Yeah, he hears from Gareth. He hears from...
You said Gabriel. I was like,
oh, sorry,
Gabriel.
I'm sorry, Gareth. And what we assume maybe is his mom.
Yes,
We're not sure, but that's the implication.
It's implied that at the very least, a close familial relation.
Right. So he basically gets to decide, are you done, or do you want to go back? And he was like, no, I want to go back.
Yes. And he comes back.
Yep.
He wakes up. The celestial counselors have finally shown up on the scene.
Finally.
And are rolling around in a car.
Where are they? Where is Gareth, Gabriel, and Elise and Co?
They're in the streets of Alestria.
With the circle? I thought they pixie dusted him somewhere else.
They come back. I don't know why, but somehow they come back.
Well, yes. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
They come back.
Yes. Because Gabriel's the counselors are here. We need to go watch this.
Correct.
Go down.
Correct. So but Orion left with all of their pixie dust. So do they fly back?
No, they had dust. They have their own.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they have
because they make a comment about when Orion almost gets got during the circle moment, that they pixie dust him away and he had all the stardust with him.
Maybe they fly then. Oh yeah, because Dante into his dragon form and they ride him. Okay.
Yeah. So Gabriel wakes up, the counselors are here. He
vision
sees that they are going to take credit for Alestria or for killing King. Okay, great. Meanwhile, Elise and Gabriel finally have their moment.
Well, okay. So a couple things haven't happened. Elise has yet to release all this power.
Correct. Yes.
So she's
and he's I need you to come back to me.
But they go to see the counselors first. Why? I don't know. Well, and it's because Gabriel says you have an opportunity to take out Lionel Acrux right now. You can save thousands of people if you can take him out right now. And she's like, okay, bet. I'm on it. I will take him out and then I'll release the magic.
Yep.
And
that's when the
That
stars
is
intervene.
Correct.
And they finally have their divine moment. It has finally happened. They
Yep.
are one. Thank God. And they come back to reality. And I said, don't worry, we're not done yet. Elise is still housing a lot of fucking power. So much so that she opens a door to the dead.
I thought that we were going to lose Elise. I thought that Gabriel and she were going to mate, and he was going to get to be her mate for like 1 minute. And then she was going to get.
So it could have been darker, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that is what I thought was about to play out. And I was like, oh, we're not going to lose any of the boys. We're going to lose Elise.
Which you've kind of said that you didn't think Elise was going to make it. Well, plot twist, she does.
She does.
She opens this door. She has like ripped
the veil down.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's like ripped the space-time continuum and is speaking to Gareth from the other side of the veil. And he basically tells her he loves her. He's so happy for her. He's been watching her. She needs to go back. And she has a really hard time, but she does it. And then she does eventually release her power into the sky at the urging of all of the boys.
Mm-hmm. Well, not her power. The power.
The powers
stole
that she
back from King.
I imagine she's like vomiting it into the sky.
Yeah, I was imagining it was coming out of like her hands.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly like that.
Yep, exactly. All right, so naturally the celestial counselors do take credit for saving Alestria.
Sure they do.
Lionel does, however, clear all of them in the Lunar Oscura gang fight.
Wee woo, wee woo. That's a problem that's going to come back later, and I can't believe it doesn't in these many, many, many epilogues.
The epilogues were crazy. And in an unsurprising turn of events, they decide to go back to school after this.
This is confounding to me.
So Ryder has assumed a new identity. His name now is Colin.
Carson.
Carson.
Well, and hang on, a couple things. He says he has to remain dead.
Right. So he is given his power to Ethan.
Yep. He passes over the crown, if you will, to Ethan Shadowbrook.
And Ethan doesn't want to take it at first, but he says, this is my final act.
He's the Jon Snow here. You know, reluctant leaders are sometimes the best. And so in order to, I don't know, stay alive, Ryder assumes this fake identity of being Leo's distant cousin.
Correct. And he is a lion shifter.
Hilarious.
His name is Carson. Apologies, I said Colin earlier.
That's okay. Put some respect on Carson's name. Come on.
And he has sick Disney tats. Mm-hmm. And they represent everybody. They're like a little fucked up, but they're excellent. And Ryder is known for his potion making skills, right? So he makes a killer charisma potion in which he takes and starts to pick Mindy's off of Leon. And Leon is not well about it.
Hey, he's not a lion shifter, though. How's he going to shift into a lion?
Nobody cares.
Is he going to do the chameleon thing where he chameleons himself into a lion?
Maybe. It's never addressed, Catherine. Never addressed. We don't need to. We don't need to.
I got to be honest with you. This is also a poorly kept secret that he's alive. Too many people know. Way too many people know that Ryder is in fact alive.
Hey, let them have a moment in the sun.
Okay.
You okay?
You're right.
Have we not been through enough?
You're right.
Let us get to the end. Okay. Call out. They do talk about the Tempa Pego bags as like an honor to Gareth. They found it in his sketches. It's like a bag that can be worn when you shift so that you don't end up without your clothes somewhere. I just thought that was a little call out and it's cute.
And made Elise rich.
Rich. Yeah. So she never has to worry about money. We also have a rather lengthy pitball scene in which they play Zodiac Academy for the pitball championship. They win.
Hey, but we find out what happened to Orion. And I hate to say it, your girl was right.
You were. It has something to do with the Aphoxes.
Lionel fucked with him, and I guarantee you, he
It's
basically
Clara.
yes, it was a blackmail thing with Clara.
Yep.
Now, why I don't fully know, and we also find out why Lance in we'll call it present day Zodiac is such a surly asshole because his whole future got ripped away from him. And now he's got to be best friends with, doesn't have to be, but he is best friends with old boy's son who ruined his pitball career. The layers of this shit are really fun.
He's also already a drunk. Yeah. Okay. This is going to be rapid fired for the epilogues.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Leo and Elise get scouted for the pros. They go pro. They all get married. Elise and the boys get married. They have babies. Gabe gets a job offer to teach at Zodiac Academy. He isn't sure he's going to take it because it is to teach the tarot.
Yeah, but he's far away is the reason he says.
Yes.
Right? Or he's like
not sure. He talks to Elise about it. She said Lance is the one who calls to offer him the job, basically. Correct. And he said, we'll give you as much Stardust as you want. You can go back and forth, do whatever you want to do. And he's like, I'm not sure. Even after talking to Elise, she says you should do it. He's like, I don't know. And he gets a tarot card that's like fallen down in the middle of their yard and is silver.
So crazy.
And it says, twin flames await. You must answer the call of your ally and go to their aid. The world needs you, Gabriel Knox. Falling star.
Because reminder, Gabriel was getting money from Falling Star
Correct.
at the beginning of this.
That's
whole
who his
thing.
trust came through.
So who the fuck is Falling Star? We still don't know because it can't be old. What's his face? What the crusty ass professor?
Yeah.
Atrum.
Yeah. Astrum.
Astrum. Thank you. He's dead, unless he set all of these in motion before he died. And I don't know, man.
The stars also urge him to go, telling him that he's going to get the answers to his origin there as well. So we know we know he's going, but B, now we know why he went.
And just for time context, that comes at like their post-grad 3 years-ish.
Right.
And they've got the one baby. And Elise just had the second
RJ,
baby, I think.
yeah.
Yes. So, okay. So keep going with your time because this is where it starts to get interesting for me.
Oh, really?
Go on.
So they have RJ. Then we do some time hopping forward.
Again.
And I'm just going to hop to it's like 15 years later.
Yep. So RJ's 15 and their oldest is like 18 or 19, right?
Correct. Yes.
What's his name? Luca.
Yes, that's right. Because he ends up becoming a bear shifter. So RJ, we flash forward and they've had this seemingly kind of picturesque family life, right? All of them living together. They end up at, there are two RJ chapters, really. RJ gets a chapter where she tries to lose her virginity.
Hilarious.
To a kid named Jet. And he takes her in his sick car to Lover's
Classic.
Lane, right? Sure. And the dads interrupt that. And he's like, but I'm in love with, Jet's like, I'm in love with her. And Gabriel's like, no, you're not. So in an effort to prove that, we jump forward a few more years and we are at Aurora Academy, it appears. And the parents have...
Do we know that they're at Aurora or are they just at school?
They just mentioned it as at school, but it feels like we're at Aurora. Does it not? You think they're at Zodiac?
I think they're at Zodiac.
Interesting.
Because, so now that will have meant that Gabe, let's pretend he's still a professor, he will have been at Zodiac at that point for quite some time. He would have been a professor at Zodiac for 12 years by that point.
This would be after that's Zodiac Academy storyline.
Right. So
now you think that Echo Fort and Cindervale, that whole series?
I don't know, but I'm wondering if they are like Zodiac to, like the next generation,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
Because and here's what I took away from all of this. Gabriel survives the fall of Lionel
Yep.
Fucks, because presumably
They all do.
All of them do.
Yeah.
Right. He also mentions Lance.
Yep.
And so I'm like, well, now this kind of, why are we giving some things away? Because to me now, Lance is untouchable in Zodiac.
But he
never
does
gonna
not
really
mention anything
be,
about the twin flames and the girls.
Nope.
And none of the other boys.
What I do find interesting, though, in one of the chapters, where the wedding chapter, Elise mentions that her Altair family is all there. She refers to them as her cousins. And we find out that Caleb has a sister
Yes.
that we did not know about
Did we not?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought we knew he had siblings.
We knew he had siblings, but we didn't know what or how many or whatever.
Got it.
So we know now that Caleb Altair has a sister.
Right.
So I suspect she will be joining Zodiac
Okay.
world,
Yeah.
just based on timeline. So
Okay.
I'm trying to think about how old all these people are. And then you also have Rosalie.
Yeah.
Is Rosalie going to come to Zodiac while Gabe is there?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think that Rosalie, I think the next time we see Rosalie is in Darkmoor.
Oh, I think we see her before then.
Sorry. I think the next time we get a lot of Rosalie storyline is her. I
Sure.
think that she probably makes appearances.
Yeah.
But I don't know that she is like a central character.
You don't think she's POV chapters in Zodiac?
Yeah, I think that maybe we see her come in and out and maybe we get some POV chapters, but it's
Yeah.
not to further her storyline per se.
Yeah.
It's more to further the storyline of what's happening in
I mean,
Zodiac.
I assume that we have to follow her at school in some capacity because that's kind of the pattern with these books, right?
Well, you want to see that too because you want her to age up before she hits Darkmoor.
That's right.
Yeah.
We need her to age up badly. We also don't get any mention of Rory in these like flash
We get
forward
mentioned,
chapters.
and not in the flash forward. Only in the wedding chapter is Rory mentioned.
that he's not there.
Correct. In that sense,
And that he's still
Rosalie.
at Darkmoor.
Right.
Right.
So we get RJ at school, if you will.
You also have a weird little like wink in there of Ethan Shadowbrook making eyes at Rosalie at the pitball
Sure.
game, which I'm like, what's going on there? You also we meet RJ's sorry, I'm skipping around here, but we also meet in one of the flash forward chapters RJ's perfect match. Her illusion
Yes, I hadn't
mate.
gotten there.
Oh, I thought you did. I thought you said. Oh,
No,
I'm sorry.
We were still at school. So we are at school. The parents are watching over a party.
Sorry.
They have a concealment spell on them. They're watching over a party so they can see the kids. The kids can't see them. And Jet is still with RJ. The dads are not happy about it. And Gabriel makes a comment and says, he's not her love. And they're like, what? And he's like, wait for it. And the Fib come rushing in. It is intimated that Gabriel tipped them off to kill Blaze, which they say has been eradicated because it died. The recipe died with Titan. That kill Blaze is at the party, so the Fib comes rushing in, and they set Jet up. RJ and Jet are like running away from the cops, if you will, and they set Jet up to make the decision to like prove to RJ if he's really in it. And RJ gets tackled to the ground by the Fib agent, and instead of inserting himself, Jet saves his ass and runs away. And Gabriel goes, nope, that's he's not her mate, but the guy tackling her, that's her true love.
And they're all like,
what? A
Leon
cop?
has
Leon
a
goes,
meltdown.
Leon goes, my riches? What is he going to do about my stolen riches? I'm like, that would be me immediately. How is this going to impact me?
Okay, so RJ is a Pegasus.
Yes.
And Luca is a bear.
Big bear shifter.
Big bear shifter of some sort. So my question is, and it doesn't matter at all, but this is just for funsies, because they're not described like physically what they look like at all. Whose kids are they?
Yeah, I had some questions about this too.
I was also surprised that she only had 2. I kind of thought she might.
I thought that there was a third.
I think just the 2 kids.
Oh, I thought that there was a third that was still like young.
I don't think so. I think just the 2.
I think that Luca is Dante's.
For sure. Thought the same thing.
And
just based on his name alone.
RJ.
And you notice too that the kid's last name, Altair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who do you think RJ's is?
I don't know, because she's a Pegasus, right? So that takes after Gareth. Right? Gareth was also a Pegasus.
Yeah, but I also think maybe she could be, like, with the name, maybe she could be Ryder's kid.
Ruby? To me, it was like stolen ruby, like a jewel,
you think
a
Leon?
gem. I don't know. I wish we knew, but they didn't say like, oh, she has blonde hair, or like there were no descriptors given.
Maybe if your theory is correct, maybe in those books we find out.
That would be interesting. Not that it really matters.
They also talk about in one of the epilogue chapters, and this is not really like super important, but they talk about giving birth.
Oh, this was crazy.
They are narrating a birth scene to us, and then we you think it's her giving birth, and then it comes to find out they're watching a human documentary on birth, and they're like, oh, mortals, they have it so rough.
This sucks. They just cut it out and heal me back up.
Right.
I'm like, wow.
Oh, wow. And I thought, that's 2 women writing this who have had babies.
100%.
And are like, there's a better way to do this.
There's got to be a better way. There has to be better. Oh, one last thing I wanted to say about the wedding scene. I thought it was interesting that Elise mentions that seemingly her relationship with the Altairs is like very good.
Yes.
I was very surprised by that. And I was very surprised by seemingly the level of relationship she has. My God, excuse me. With, is her name Melinda?
Yes, Melinda Altair.
I was shocked by that. I guess in my mind, I was like, well, she's a piece of shit. And it seems to maybe that's not the case.
I don't think she's a piece of shit.
So that gives me hope in our Zodiac timeline that we might have a counselor that is not a total piece.
Okay, great. I believe nothing.
Sure, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It gave me some hope.
I'm hopeful that we are going to very rapidly get some answers in Zodiac Academy.
Oh, we won't. But sure.
It's just, guys, to go through as many pages as we went through to get to this is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Now, I was going to ask you a question about you felt like the stakes weren't high enough.
Yeah.
Do you think that if we had gotten to the end of this and Gabriel had not mated with Elise.
Had not mated with her.
Had not mated. She was not an Elysian mate. Which, like, funny, Elysian.
Sure.
Would that have made the stakes?
I think that changes this book entirely for me.
And you hate it?
Love it more.
Oh.
No. I'm so much more bought in.
If he
that
didn't
had
get
not
it,
happened, 100%.
It's too happily ever after for you?
Way too happily ever after. And he, to me now, well, and I'm just like selfish, right? Because I love Gabriel. He's now off the table as a love interest for anybody in Zodiac.
Got it.
So to me, I'm like, oh, that sucks. He does not offer any sort of like romantic opportunity for anybody potentially in Zodiac world.
So headed back to Zodiac, we obviously know we get Gabriel. Is there anybody else that you think that we get in Zodiac?
Such an interesting question. Well, I think Dante. Yeah. Dante is linked with Lionel like tremendously.
Yeah.
Not to mention Lionel thinks that his nephew is Dante's offspring.
Well, he's also, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think we get
He's
Dante.
also got to keep giving him sperm. So at some point, the likelihood that we do get a Dante offspring with his niece, with Lionel's niece, is high.
Unless he keeps doing the Kipling brother route. Or somebody else's sperm. And they're like, we can't get him out this way. There has to be another way.
I guess. And we know he's been putting his lightning in a bottle too.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't, but I definitely think Dante will pop in.
Okay.
In and out. I don't know, like, a lot, but he will definitely be present.
Do you think we see Elise?
I
think we see Elise.
I think she's probably mentioned at some point because she's an Altair.
Right.
So, yes.
And I wonder if we will see some challenge from Elise for the
seat.
Mm-hmm, for the Altair seat.
Up against Caleb. I don't think so.
I wonder if we see something.
I don't think she wants it.
I don't know that she wants it. I wonder if she will feel compelled based on what's happening with the counselors. Maybe she challenges Melinda.
And not, yeah.
And not Caleb directly.
Well, and we don't know, like, what goes on with Caleb either. Maybe Caleb is like, fuck this. I am not doing it. We don't know, you know?
Yeah, we assume that Caleb, like, makes it out, too.
Sure. So,
like, there's a world in which, at the end of those books, that he's not available to us.
At this point, I don't think that is the case, in my opinion.
You wanted stakes.
No, I know. I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
I don't foresee that being.
Any other predictions going back to
Oh, God.
Zodiac?
I don't think so. I don't think so. And now I'm wondering, too, like, have we overplayed this? See, okay, Gabe is their brother. That's where I've landed.
Yeah.
Gabe is the twins' half brother,
or
full brother.
Yeah,
he is their sibling to some degree, whatever that looks like. So to me, he's pretty tied to Zodiac at this point, and I would argue that this whole series is just to get Gabe to Zodiac, because we still don't know.
Sure,
we still don't know who. Falling Star is.
But thank God we finally got an answer to Gareth. Like, we got one answer. We got an answer to Gareth and King.
Sure.
But yes, I agree that we had to, like, figure out.
I mean, Elise is a cool FMC. She's a baddie. I really like her. But, like, ultimately, this story was about Gabe. And I think there's a reason that this book ends on a Gabe POV chapter. He's the one that finds the card. He's got to go help save Alestria again. He's got to find the twins. Like, it. So I'm curious to see, because I kept thinking, like, have I overplayed this in my brain about how big of a character he's going to be in Zodiac? And I don't think that that's possible.
Okay.
And in Zodiac, when we go back, we think that we will be getting, so he'll be a new character. We also have new incoming freshmen at some point coming in, including
his little brother,
Darius's little brother. So we know he's coming. And then I'm guessing that we will get maybe Caleb's sister as well. Maybe not in this book, but maybe even the next one. Like,
sure. Assuming that we continue to progress through time like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, certainly we go through years in the back half of those books, right?
I would think so. This is where it diverges from the Harry Potter-ness.
Yeah.
Where, like, it's a book.
It's each year.
A book is a year at school, basically. Yeah. That obviously is not the case with these. But I do suspect that time will speed up a little bit in some of these, because I do think we kind of got to get our way through school a little bit faster.
Got it. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, the next time
we did
you
it,
see
gang.
us,
we did it. We'll be back into our Zodiac bullshit. Let's go.
Yay. Before we leave you, like, follow, subscribe on all platforms. We are The Story Is Pod on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Am I missing anything?
You got it.
No. Tomi has all of the books that we talk about on all of our episodes linked below in the bio, so you can click right here if you need a copy of Warrior Fae or any other book. We are headed back to Zodiac Academy next week.
We're headed back, baby.
We are going to still do some kind of condensed episodes breaking down the books in like 2 parts.
Yes.
Just in an effort to keep on track and on schedule, since Katie and I have.
Well, we maybe this is getting the cart before the horse a bit here, but Amanda and I are really anxious to try and do some sort of refresh, recap, revisit
on ACOTAR.
of the ACOTAR world before the new book comes out in October. So we are going to have to speed up a little bit over here so that we have time to dedicate to that before then.
Yes.
Yeah. So these episodes will move hopefully a little faster.
Yes. And there was something else I was going to say. Oh, your personal handle. Did you want to tag that?
Sure. I'm at That's Katie Mitchell.
And I am at 8ace8. And I guess
if you made it to this part of the episode, drop a star emoji into the comments to let us know that you made it.
You're having so much fun with the emojis.
Falling star. Yeah, I'm trying to listen. You got to make it to the end.
Okay.
Listen all the way through. Every second matters.
Yep.
And on that note, gang,
go read your book.